So they did better than the other people, but I see quite a bunch of things. So they never removed the wallpaper that was there. They also just painted over it. They didn't paint the ceiling. You see there on the edges, they basically just took the brush to the end, didn't finish it. They also didn't take the handles off. When you pull this tape off, it's gonna pull paint off. They did not finish the back. They left it how the other people left it. Closet doors were not painted. We did talk about that. The cabinets. So they just painted over the cabinets, which number one is not gonna last too long. It should have been sanded so that it stays better. I recommended that we do this a dark color. White looks great, but it's gonna get dirty very, very easily. It's not gonna last too long. So they painted right over this. You can tell because here's the original color. They should have taken these doors off the handles to take this all the way to the end. You see all of the edges not done. So here they painted all the way on the top. This one is not painted on the top. This is not a drawer, but the same way you could paint it. These drawers should have been taken out so that you could paint all the edges so you're not able to see what the previous color was. Did not do that here. They didn't fill in the edge here. Okay. They left this bathroom the way that it was. You see this edge here? This was from the first guy. They did not go over it. They also did not give this door a second coat. It's kind of hard to see with the light, but you can see around here on the edge, this is still all dirty. Yeah, they didn't give the second coat. They also didn't paint the ceiling. If you see there on the edges, they're all different. The color doesn't match because the original people took the brush up to the top, but they did not do the edges. Here, this needs a second coat. You can clearly see the color disparity there. This edge, it did not finish. It stands out. Same with the edges here. So again, the door they didn't paint. This inside trim did not get a second coat. You can still see some of the color behind it. Here, it's more noticeable in here. The door did not get replaced. They didn't even do a second coat to it. I don't know if they were planning to do it, but actually it looks like they may have added a second coat, but we cannot leave this, we can't rent this like this. So there's this big hole back here. This room, it looks like they didn't touch. The baseboards need a second coat. The closet doors weren't painted. The closet doors need to be adjusted. You see, this is the same one from the video. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see the paint behind it. They didn't give that the second coat. The edges of the baseboard did not get filled in. That should be caulked so that it looks nice. Yeah, the baseboards definitely did not get a second coat. This door needs another coat. You can see some of the areas behind it. It's easier to tell here on the edges. You can see these are two different colors. This needs to be hit again. The doorway, let me see. Man, it's hard to see with it doesn't come out too good on the phone. Oh, here, but here you can see better. It definitely needs to be touched up. Again, these handles should have been taken off so that when you paint it, it's perfectly flush. When they pull this off, it's gonna rip some of the paint off. It's gonna look bad. The door, you can perfectly see there on the edge that's darker. This needed a second coat, they didn't do it. They didn't touch this wall. The edges, again, also didn't get done. The baseboards didn't get touched. You can clearly see here. There's paint on the floor. This needs to be scratched out or lifted up with a little scaffold. You should be able to, not scaffold. You know what I'm trying to say. It needs to be scraped up. So either they need to do it or the cleaning person needs to do it. Again, these closet doors didn't get touched, which means the baseboards didn't get touched. That needs to be put in properly. Yeah, this needs a second coat. So they painted around the edges. It should have been pulled off, painted behind, make it flush. This door needs a second coat. You can see right there. This doorway needs a second coat. You can see the color behind it. Yeah, this definitely needs a second coat. You can clearly see here the disparity in colors. The baseboard needs to be adjusted. This should be cut right here on the edge. This shouldn't be sticking out. Yeah, you can see better on this door. Okay, the edge wasn't done. They never painted the ceiling. You can see the difference there. This ledge needs a second coat. This should be filled with caulking so that you don't see such a big gap. It actually needs to be a little bit more secured. You should not be able to see a cut like this. This baseboard should be all the way here to the end and then caulk the crack so that it's perfectly flush. This wall needs a second coat. See the disparity in colors there? Oh, here's a better. So you see how you see spots here? Okay, this whole wall needs to be touched again. This baseboard the same. You see, the other edge over there should be like this where they meet. This should have been painted. They basically painted the baseboard, they didn't paint this. These are the nails that are actually, they use a nail gun to get it in there. This should have a little bit of caulking on it so that you don't see it. If not, you see holes all over the baseboards. These baseboards actually need a second coat here. You can see the disparity in color. You shouldn't be able to see such a gap like that on the baseboards. Look at it here. It's not even touching the wall. It can only go in so much. Look at the two different colors here in the white. You see you have a bright, shiny white. The ceiling didn't get done. Basically, this entire room requires a second coat. Oh, that's not too bad. Again here, with the cabinets, I should have finished the edge so that you don't see it. You can see the difference in color between the wall and here. This bathroom needs a second coat. See, again, they didn't sand it, they just painted over it. You can actually use a second coat because you can see a little bit of the color behind it. Here is easier to see, so you see how this gradient is different in color here. It doesn't come out too good on the, oh, there you go. See, so you have spots like this throughout the cabinet. You just need a second coat. This is paint. They should have been scraped off so that you don't see this. I didn't even look for that in the other bathroom. This is the back of the cabinet. Need the second coat to cover that. Again, same thing with the baseboards. The edging here. So they basically didn't touch this bathroom aside from the cabinets is what it looks like. This entire section needs a second coat to cover it. They didn't do the ceiling. Look at it, it almost looks blue over there. I don't know what color it was before, but this entire section needs a second coat so that everything blends in. This didn't get painted. Didn't get painted, but they got paint on it. So it sticks out. You have an entirely white bathroom and an old school medicine cabinet. Tile guy has not been here. They didn't touch this bathroom. I know you didn't. You should definitely paint this bathroom. This just does not blend well. You also have that scrape up there in the corner. I don't know if you can see it, but there's hairs all over the bathroom. The doorway needs an entire second coat. It's easier to see here. Disparity in color. They definitely didn't touch this back door. I would definitely paint this to make, the walls need to be clean. I would hope that I don't need to say that, but the walls would need to be wiped off first and then clean, because if not, all this dust and dirt that's there, they're just gonna paint right over it. Okay. Yeah, this door did not get a second coat. So they basically only replaced the broken tiles. There's a huge disparity here. This is lifted up. You should have made the adjustment since they had these tiles lifted up Somebody might trip over this. Should be flush, but it's not too bad. So overall, I would say they're definitely not done. I think essentially everything needs an entire second coat. The closets were not touched. They stand out. If you want to leave it like that, then you can leave it like that. I would say they're not done.